I want to share with you a story about one of my colleagues, and I got her permission before I came to share this story. I was working at one of the medical centers in Nairobi in Upper Hill area, so I'm not specifying the particular facility. And that was somewhere between 2011 and 2014 to make sure nobody can pinpoint the exact location and the individual. But so this particular person, a lady, beautiful friend of mine, we went to the same church. We shared a lot in common. And so because we ended up working in the same facility, we found whenever we had opportunities to spend time together, we created the time to do that. One of the most common ways to do that was to go out, eat in the same place, go have lunch together. And this became the source of what we'll be speaking about today, because the hardest part of settling down to eat with this person was, first of all, agreeing on the restaurant. It would be like, oh, what would you feel like eating? It's like she always would say like, oh, I'm open for anything. I'm like, okay, let's go to this restaurant. She's like, no, but I don't feel like that one. Let's go to this other one. No, I don't feel like this other one. Let's go to these other ones. I don't feel like that one. That's at the level of selecting the restaurant. We get into the restaurant and the menu comes and we can't find. I am very easy. I will see 3 items. I eliminate one. I remain with 2. I can even flip a coin. I will pick the other one and I'm done. And then she'll be seated there. She's like, no, I don't feel like chicken. I don't feel like beef. I don't feel like liver. I don't feel like matumbo. I don't feel like veggie. I don't feel like barbecue. I don't feel like pork chops. I'm like, so what do you feel like? And the only reason I'm highlighting this story that we laughed about last week is because we sometimes do this to ourselves. We have energy, we have time, we have the ability for attention, but we leave ourselves scattered. Your resources need a target. Your energy needs a target. Your time needs a target. Your knowledge needs a target. Your relationships need a target. Your networks need a target. Your year, your week, your month, your day, your weekend, you need a target. If you don't create the target for yourself, somebody else is going to create the target for you. If you don't intentionally already decide on what the target is. And you see, we get caught up in decision paralysis, where we make every decision seem like a life-changing decision. Choosing what you're going to eat for lunch is not a life-changing decision. You pick this thing and order it. If you don't like it, you can order another one. Or as long as you eat a little bit enough and then you can find something else, maybe a snack to fill it up. You've learned not to order this. Next time you can order something else. Your time needs direction. It needs a target. Your resources need a target. This quarter, the remaining part, now we're exactly halfway through the second quarter of 2024. The remaining 6 weeks of this quarter need a target. Do you have a target? Are you clear about what you are targeting? When you have energy, when you have resources, energy, time, plus a target, you create a clear intention. Now, the extent to which your target is clear determines or influences the extent to which your intention will be powerful. So the power of your intention depends on the clarity of your target. The clarity of your target determines the efficiency with which you will use the resources you have. You need a target with any of the resources you have. You will hear these stories where, unfortunately now, people have gotten into the habit of almost speaking negatively of education, vilifying education, that if you can have a master's degree and you can be jobless, and then, glorifying other quote unquote easier ways, maybe to make money or to gain fame, or you don't have to go to university, you can just do it on social media. Each of these areas, if you look deeply into each of these areas, The people who maybe end up with a PhD or a master's and they are stuck, they don't have a job, it's probably because they have knowledge that has no target. Even the knowledge at the time they were gaining it, they're not gaining it with a target. One of the reasons people who succeed in business stand out is because it's very clear what they are dealing with. A person who is in business, if they are moving forward, they are absolutely focused. They must be focused on one specific area, consistent in that area. They fail, but they keep moving on. They make loss, they make profit. It's all part of the journey. They keep moving, such that it's very deceptive to evaluate any particular area, any domain of life as being more useful or less useful. I believe in whatever area, whether you do social media marketing, or you become an influencer, you become a physician, or you become an engineer, or you become a mechanic, or you become a carpenter, you become a mason, you become a business owner in whatever business industry, the one unifying factor is to what extent do you direct your resources to a clear target consistently? Because as much as you are able to harness your resources and direct them to a very clear target, you live from the power of intentionality automatically. And the deeper the power of intentionality becomes in your life, the more unstoppable you become. That is my challenge, especially as I complete this training program I'm finishing and cross over into the new season. To what extent in the new season that has different objectives, that has a slightly different scope, where there will be training, my personal training, there will be my business, House of Mastery, and my business in medicine, and then there will be the rest of my life, my family and my relationships, all of these areas. How clear can I be about what I target in each of these areas? Because the level of clarity I have will influence the efficiency with which I make use of my resources. Because sometimes you have resources that need to be activated, but you don't activate them because you don't have a target for them. Sometimes you have a connection, you have somebody in your network who can open for you amazing doors, but that this person's resources are available, but they're not used because you don't have a place, you haven't created a target that makes them necessary. My challenge is, how do I become so clear about these next steps so that then it becomes very easy for me to figure out what resources do I have that I can funnel and what other resources can I tap, so that I intentionally begin this next stage of my life living with as much intentionality as possible. Maybe it's something that you could think about for yourself. I don't know what you're dealing with right now, what the next 6 weeks for you look like before you cross into the second half of the year. To what extent can you carve out and prune and trim out some of the areas where there is slightly less clarity than you would like, so that you can begin to be more clear, more targeted, more focused in terms of how you harness the resources you have, your personal knowledge, your interests, your preferences, your connections, your skills and talents, the opportunities that are in the environment that you are in currently, the problems that you face which you are more passionate about than other people, so that these things become a whole that is clarity, which is that specificity of target mixed with all these resources harnessed with intentionality, so that you begin to create a mix that is so powerful and so unique to you that it doesn't matter who competes against you. You will always have your space, you will always have your room, you will always have the ability to make happen in your life what you want to have happen in your life. I look at my life over the last 6 years I've been in the United States, and I see how much of a flux there has been from season to season based on to what extent I operated with clarity. I look at the first 3 years of my life in the United States, and I did not have as much clarity as I have now. Therefore, I do see opportunities that I let go, but I also see opportunities that I pursued which were absolutely not aligned with me. such that this I did not have a clear target. Because I didn't have a clear target, I ended up allowing or even including in my journey things that were not going to, to live beyond the season that I was in. So that there's some really intense, beautiful projects I got involved in, but I look at them now as temporary seasons. But the things that have grown me, that have anchored me, the things that have prepared me for the next season, the things that I know are going to help me the most beyond the next season, are things that I was very clear about, very intentional about, even if sometimes they were not called for in the immediate moment. But I was clear and I knew that this is something that is going to add in my life a level of depth, a level of specificity that is going to take me 1 mile deep, 1 inch wide, because that is the journey that I want to walk. So I just wanted to share this particularly with you as I've been reflecting about these last 2 weeks, reflecting about the first part of the year, and reflecting about these last 6 years as I prepare to cross into the next season. Your resources, all the resources you have, your time, your energy, your attention, and everything else needs a target. You have a clear target, it becomes so much easier to tap optimally from all the resources you have. And these two together, they automatically elevate you to live with a level of intentionality that will automatically expand your impact. Even just within your own realm, it will absolutely expand your impact. Don't allow yourself to be paralyzed by lack of clarity. Don't enter the restaurant of life repeatedly unclear about what you want to order. You're stuck, you're finding yourself stuck, even selecting the restaurant. Are you going to the sushi restaurant? Are you going to the teriyaki chicken restaurant? Are you going to the fish corner? The opportunities are available. Most of the decisions we make day to day are not life-making or life-breaking. Just make the decision. Make the decision. Make the decision knowing that you will get the feedback. The feedback keeps moving you towards clarity. And the greater the clarity you get, the more powerful your decisions become, because you start utilizing your resources with so much power, with so much vigor. I can reiterate this over and over because this has been the theme for me, particularly this month. It's the theme for the whole of this part of the year until end of June. Your resources need a target. Your resources need a target. All your resources need a target. This season in your life needs a target.